here's a blast from the past. It's Ryan Kelly live here on What's New in Sport again. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, good evening, Russell. Was that too loud or were you too quiet?
I think I was too quiet there.
Too quiet, no bother.
Well, Ryan, you came from Gorebridge tonight with your daughter, of course, Crystal, who has been live on Black Diamond FM before in the background. I don't know what team she was shouting for, but it was whenever you talked, she used to make some noises.
I think she was trying to keep me quiet, I think. It was probably speaking for the whole of Midlothian.
Oh,
but
right.
no, it's just is absolutely golden, loves her sport, loves her football, and I've had her at quite a few grounds as well. So.
Yeah, and you've taken in a few games since the last time we spoke live on here as well. A variety of football games, locations as well.
Absolutely, there's so much sport in and around Midlothian, it's difficult not to find sport. So we're looking forward to plenty of games in the coming weeks.
A lot of local derbies as well, when you think
Brilliant.
about it.
It's absolutely brilliant. Just obviously I'm a Newton Grange man, and they've had 2 Midlothian derbies, and I've got one still to play coming up on Saturday. So that's what folk wanted, Russell, about 6 months ago. More local games, more games on, playing teams that you've maybe not played for a few years. That's what they've got.
The problem with that, Ryan, is of course that you can only play the teams so many times. You can't play them every single week, every single month. There's set fixtures for each teams, and of course if the local derbies don't come this week, they'll go next week or next month or before the end of the season. There is this set local derbies, unless it's cup games, of course. But the local derbies, there's always got to be one winner and one loser. Right, and sometimes are we surprised that the team that you might be following might not win?
Yeah, that's the thing though. The local games, you find maybe, let's say, the underdog picks up. Everybody ups their game for a derby. They're determined to win, determined to get local bragging rights. That happens at every level of football. It's not just your Hibs and Hearts. It's your Arnostons and Pennycooks, your Newton Granges and Dalkeiths or Bonnyriggs and whoever else, Whitehill Welfares. That happens in every level of sport. If you're playing a competitor, playing your friends as well, potentially friends in the opposition team, you up your game, and we've seen that throughout the season already, and I'm sure in the next few weeks and months ahead.
You know, there's been a lot of criticism I noticed in social media and the newspapers and that about referees, and this is no relative terms to Derek through there, because Derek knows to be quiet about that, criticising the referees. So you can. I could in a way, but I don't know too much about it and about the referees' decisions. The 6 red cards given out recently, I spoke to a lot of people and they said that they weren't warranted red cards, but then the referee's in charge, and you know, what can you do?
Well, Russell, I think I don't know how long we've been doing this programme, over 10 years, and I can honestly say, yep, I've said, oh, the referee could have done this or could have done that, but you can't criticise, because one thing I've never done is try to be a referee. You know, Derek out there, absolutely, as much time for people that put themselves forward, put themselves in the position of refereeing matches. It's not easy.
And criticism as well.
Of course, you only need to look at what's happening with Willie Collum and John Beaton, isn't it, in the news recently, and that's, I mean, these guys are doing it. They're not doing it for vast amounts of money. You know, it's for actual love of the game. It's potentially people that want to further their career, potentially people that, like myself, weren't as good at football and wanted to stay in the game because they love the game, and that's the thanks they're getting. So just to stick on the point you made about the Newton Grange Arniston game, the 6 red cards, it was a difficult game to referee. I'm not pretending otherwise, but you could merit, the referee could turn around and say, I got all 6 decisions right.
But if you set the standard with the first red card for a certain infringement of the rules, right, then you can't disallow or you know, disregard another infringement when it's the same. So if you set the standard with the first red card, then do you continue, and I'm not a referee, remember, do you continue, and of course you have to give the next one out, you have to give the next one out, or you're blamed for the first one that's been wrong. But then, I'm not a referee.
No, you're absolutely right, but you, the referee, of course, would argue, saying, look, I've judged every decision one by one, I've not taken into account the last one or the next one that potentially could happen. It's difficult for me to say, having not been in that position, but having watched a lot of referees and talked to a lot of referees, that game was difficult. The decisions, as I said, the referee could turn around and say, the first 2 Newton Grange ones, for example, he could say, well, it was a kick out, so that would be classed as violent conduct. Same for the second one. He could say the 2 boys that got sent off for Arniston were double yellow cards. Again, difficult to argue because they were fouls and potentially yellow cards. The other Newton Grange one, a high foot, he could say again, endangering an opponent, and then the handball on the line, deliberate handball, denying a goal scoring opportunity. The referee could turn around and say, I got all of them right. Another referee could come along and say, you know, the first one could be a red, yeah, but the second one's maybe a yellow. Every referee is different. I reckon you could get 4 or 5 referees to referee that exact same game, and you're going to get maybe 4 or 5 different outcomes to all those cards.
Would there have been any difference to the result of the game if no red cards were given out? That's a difficult question to answer.
Well, yeah, yes and no. It is under normal circumstances. It's a difficult question, but I think when you handle the ball on the goal line in the last minute, conceding a penalty, stopping the ball from going in the back of the net, that has influenced the result. There's no getting away for that. The ball would have been in the back. In fact, the ball was in the back of the net 2 seconds later, but the referee had already given the penalty. So from that point of view, yes, the result was influenced, but you know, it was a crazy game. 4 goals, 6 red cards, 2 penalties, 1 missed in the last minute. What more drama in terms of drama for a £5 or for £6?
You would normally say that. You would normally say good value for money.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be leaving that game earlier. There's no doubt about that. But the knock-on effect, Russell, that's had for both teams, Newton Grange more than Arniston, because I noticed that 2 of the players that were sent off for Arniston were in the starting lineup against Penicuik on Saturday, whereas all 3 for Newton Grange weren't playing against East Houses on Saturday. And
so what influence will that have on the game at the weekend? Two top teams as far as I'm concerned, Penicuik and Newton Grange playing together, and of course the disadvantage of players not being able to get into the game.
Well, look, I feel sorry for the players. Yeah, look, they got themselves sent off, whether there were red cards or not. The referee has judged it to be red cards, so I feel sorry for the players. I feel very sorry for the fans, if I'm being honest, because they want to watch the best players. They want to watch Stephen Thompson, for example, who is a immensely talented player at this level, at any level of football. They want to watch players like Dale O'Hara, who was Newton Grange's top scorer last season. They want to watch boys like Kyle Lander, who's one of the best strikers around in the league just now. They're not getting to see those 3 players. That's disappointing. Equally though, there's 3 players, hopefully 3 players, if they can find fit players that can come up and step up and say, right, this is my opportunity now. While those guys can't kick a ball, I'm going to go out and show the management that I'm worthy of a starting place. So for every downside, you've got to try and turn it around to a positive, but it will be very difficult. There's no getting away from it.
What about Penicuik? Has Penicuik got any players that they can't play on Saturday?
I didn't see any that were suspended against Arniston. I don't think there was any red cards in that game, unless I missed any that were there. I noticed that Aaron Somerville, who's a very good player, he came back from injury and scored as a substitute. So it looks like they might be at full strength, in which case
it's going to be a difficult game.
Yeah, nobody wants to see a total defence against total attack, but it might be a tricky one, unfortunately, but you never know.
They're not going to see the red cards given out, I hope.
Well, let's hope not, because everybody wants to see
a clean game.
Yeah, of course, everybody wants to see 11v11. No player wants to get sent off. No manager wants to see any of their players get either team, by the way. Everybody, if I win a game, I want to win against 11 men. I don't want to win against 10 men. You know, you want to say, oh look, I beat such and such because we were the best team, not because X, Y or Z got sent off.
You know, it works both ways, because you say you don't want to see me winning with 10 men, and yet the other manager in the other team doesn't want to see himself being beat by 10 men.
No,
so there's both ways of looking at it, right?
Yeah, absolutely, as Crystal wakes up. But I think that in terms of, don't want to stick on the game where there was a lot of red cards, but I was surprised, if I'm being honest with you, that, as I said, Arniston had 2 of the players playing that were sent off, but I noticed that Newton Grange had none of them. So that was a wee bit surprising, because I would have liked to have seen them appeal the decisions. I don't know the ins and outs of the appeal process, but it would have been good to see those 2 players, the 2 that I thought won the red cards in terms of Kyle and in terms of Stephen Thompson and Dale O'Hara. I would have liked to have seen them playing.
You're a man with stats. I bet you've not got the stats to find out how many players right, have actually been reinstated into the game after an appeal has been won, after being red carded. I know you've got a lot of stats here, but I don't think you go that depth.
No, they don't go to that depth. No, I was hoping for an easier one than that to start things off with, but all I will say is that up until Saturday, Newton Grange had only had 3 players sent off all season, and then they get 3 sent off in the space of an hour. So in terms of stats, I think that's a shocking stat, to be quite honest with you. I think that tells me, as I said, it's difficult circumstances, but I would love to have seen those players playing against East Houses, playing against Penicuik on Saturday, and Hillerbeath. One of them's a 3-match ban, so that's a long time to be not playing football.
It is. And what I was thinking about was that the fact is that Newton Grange Star, with losing the players, not being able to play against Penicuik, how good will the team be, or the management, in getting the players that they need to beat the top club like Penicuik? And I think this will be a very, very interesting game on Saturday, with the position with the team and who's going to fill their places. Will it be the under-21s, under-20s? Who will be desperate to get a shot of that ball in the East of Scotland League? I don't know.
Well, the thing that we've said on this programme before about the under-20s is that they should be on a Thursday night. But they're not, they're playing on a Friday night, which makes selecting under-20s players very, very difficult indeed. Because if I'm playing on a Friday night, I don't know about you, Russell, or Derek out there, but if I've played a game of football, I need at least 5 or 6 days to recover. Never mind playing 2 games inside 24 hours. That's crazy in my opinion. But I think you've just got to do what you can. There'll be a lot of players injured as well. You've got that in mind as well. It's not just suspensions, it's injuries as well. A lot of players that were playing against East Houses shouldn't have been, and a lot of players that came on as well shouldn't have been coming on. There was a lot of injuries that day, which again brings me back to the point, if you've got all these injuries, why not appeal those red cards that weren't really or shouldn't have been awarded as red cards, because that would have given you 2 more players. I don't know, they might well have appealed, by the way, Russell. I don't know the ins and outs. All I know is that everybody in that ground thought that the only one was a merited red card. The other 2 weren't. From that point of view, you'd like to have hoped that they would have appealed. They maybe have appealed, and the SFA maybe thought, no, hang on a minute, they're red cards. You'd need to speak to somebody higher up than that.
Will that not be on their website, where they, because I think suspended players in that are they not on the SFA website that everyone can check out and you'll be able to see? So anyone that's curious enough to find out if your player's playing at the weekend, I think they can check the website.
Well, I had a look at the website and I noticed that the players in question were listed as being suspended, so that tells me that they've either appealed it and it's been rejected, or they've not appealed it for whatever reason. Again, that's maybe for somebody higher up than me.
Well, you know what I'm going to say, they'll have to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Being the lack of players, and of course again, you never know who's going to step up, and they might just be the man of the match. They might just do the business, and of course give Penicuik a big shock. But it's difficult. We'll need to wait and see on Saturday to find out what's happening. Right, let's have to try and go to the phone lines right now and get Gordon on talking about bowling.
No bother.
You coming back on in the programme?
I'll get myself away, but I'll just quickly promote the game. I know we're coming up for time wise, just to say that it is Newton Grange against Penicuik on Saturday. 2:30 kick-off at New Victoria Park. Well, despite what I've just said, it should be an interesting game.
It will be.
And again, it's a derby. Come along and support either side if you're a Newton Grange or a Penicuik fan.
Will I be criticised if I say good luck to both teams? Right.
And can I just point out that it's one of the top junior referees, Peter Stewart, who's in charge on Saturday afternoon. So I think that will help the game along nicely.
Well, I've heard a lot about Peter, not all bad, right, that he will certainly control the game, and any nonsense,
100%.
he will sort it out.
100%.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. His what should I say, his past has proven that that's true. I'm not just saying that off the top of my head. I hope you don't answer me. This new phone, I press buttons and things happen. Right, Ryan, thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks very much for
giving us a call.
Giving us a call, I can give you a call if you want.
Thanks very much for coming into the studio, which is a rare occurrence, and chatting about football and of course your thoughts on the game at the weekend. Who's going to win?
Newton Grange are going to win.
There you are. There.
And they'll make it 17 games unbeaten at home in a row. There's your stat for today, because it's 16 just now. A stat that runs all the way back to March this year. Well, last year, 2018 now.
There you are. He's
you
still
go.
got stats up on his head there.
Not much
Right.
here though.
Ryan, thanks very much for coming into the studio this evening here live on Hawks
Thanks for
News
having
Club.
me. Thank you.
Cheers and enjoy the game if you're up.